of challenging the media. Every time somebody questions something that the candidate doesn't like, he attacks them. So one question to him is, what happened to the First Amendment on your way to the Second? They're all just as important, the first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights, and he ought to know that.
Judge Isaac Borenstein, thank you so much, Judge. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Let's talk more about this, all these developments that's happened in the past day with Barry Bennett. Now, he's a senior campaign advisor to the Donald Trump campaign. He's joining me right now. Barry, thanks so much. Get your reaction to what we just heard from Judge Borenstein. He says, as you have said, you yourself as an advisor have said that you cannot get in the mind of Donald Trump, and that's what the judge said as well. But he thinks that maybe what Donald Trump is doing is trying to provoke the judge overseeing the Trump University case to doing something that crosses the line.
Well, I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on TV. So Mr. Trump has able counsel. This is a private matter, not a campaign matter. But he's brought it on the campaign,
wrong. Barry.
Well, I mean, he did this in an interview after the campaign rally, not at the rally.
He's talked about it in the rallies.
He has talked about the judge. I mean, he surely feels like he's been wronged by this judge.
Do you agree with Donald Trump that the judge's heritage, his ethnicity disqualifies him to preside over the Trump University case?
Well, I mean, I have no idea because I've not really been a part of any of those discussions with his legal team.
All right, let's talk about what's happened just overnight. The back and forth now between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Trump's response to Clinton's attacks on his foreign policy views, his response was, she's pathetic. She should go to jail over her emails. He did not, I found quite fascinating, did not go point for point to counter her attacks on his actual views on foreign policy. Why not?
Well, I mean, we're not going to let her control the narrative, but, her policy views have proven deadly to people. So we got plenty to talk about. But I mean,
right. So was that a missed opportunity?
No. We got a long time to talk about this. I used to work at the State Department a long time ago, and if I had done what she did at the State Department, I would have left in cuffs.
Right. But on the point that it wasn't, not talking about her emails, but she's attacked every single one of his foreign policy views, really eviscerated his foreign policy views. I was shocked, as someone who has been watching Donald Trump on the campaign trail over the past 7 months, that he did not go after her for that.
Oh, trust me, we're going to have a great debate about all of her failed policy views. Name one world problem that was solved by her. None. People died because of her policies. We look forward to this debate.
What's the strategy, though, that he didn't start it last night?
Well, we're going to do it at a time of our choosing, not hers.
One thing he did say last night, I think we do have sound on it, and I want to play it for you. He said this about Hillary Clinton with regard to the emails. Listen to this.
If I win, it's called a 5-year statute of limitations if I win. Now, everything's going to be fair, but I'm sure the Attorney General will take a very good look at it from a fair standpoint, okay?
Is that a real threat, Barry?
Well, it's a real problem, that's for sure. If this Attorney General tries to block it, then, a special counsel should be appointed. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, she has continued to lie about it, right? She told us the lawyers signed off on it. The Inspector General said that's not true. She said she would cooperate with all the investigations. She stonewalled the IG, and now everybody's taken the fifth. I mean, we haven't been able to get the truth. You couldn't get the truth out of Hillary if you waterboarded her.
What?
You could get the truth out of her with a waterboard.
And you brought in waterboarding. If DOJ, Barry, finds that there was nothing illegal that happened, should Donald Trump still have his AG in a Donald Trump administration investigate her?
I'm more interested in the FBI, but if the DOJ tries to stop the FBI, then yes.
Last week, Donald Trump, he attacked, we talked about this quite a bit, Barry. He attacked the governor of New Mexico. And despite taking a lot of heat for that, he did not back down. For our viewers, listen.
Since 2000, the number of people on food stamps in New Mexico has tripled. We have to get your governor to get going. She's got to do a better job, okay? Hey, maybe I'll run for governor of New Mexico. I'll get this place going.
She was not nice. And I was fine, just a little bit of a jab, but she wasn't nice. And you think I'm going to change? I'm not changing, including with her.
That was last week and this week, and then this overnight. He says, I respect her, I always liked her, and he wants her endorsement. Barry, what changed?
Well, we wanted her endorsement the whole time. In fact, I was on your program and I said, well, we want her endorsement.
But I respect her and I always liked her. We did not hear that from Donald Trump.
No, but I mean, the healing begins. The primary's passed. We're making great strides.
He said this after the primary, Barry. This was just
no. But I mean, it goes back to the primary, right? I mean, she said some pretty nasty things during the primary. But I think everybody's, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? But this is a total head fake.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a process. I mean, people that were adversaries eventually become allies in defeating Hillary Clinton, and that's where we're going.
All right. Well, people who are coming around to endorse include the House Speaker, Paul Ryan. It was not a press conference, though. It was not a big announcement. It was an opinion piece that he laid out in his hometown paper, the Janesville Gazette. Is that the big embrace that you guys were hoping for in getting his endorsement?
It was a giant online traffic for the Janesville Gazette, for sure.
I would say so.
Like we said all along, that this is a process for the speaker. He needs to do it at his own time. He's done it, and we're very excited about it.
Do you think he was trying to quietly roll it out? Would you have liked to have seen a bigger pronouncement?
I don't think there's any way to quietly roll it out. I think, he did it his own way in his own time, which is exactly what we suggested.
Barry Bennett, great to see you. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Kate.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, MOX News. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I think Donald Trump might be watching MOX News videos, or somebody that's giving Donald Trump important advice is watching MOX News videos, because this is like the third time that I said what Donald Trump needs to do is start saying, this, and Donald Trump started saying it. I said Donald Trump needs to say that Barack Obama is protecting Hillary Clinton. That's the only reason there's not charges being brought against her, and that as President Donald Trump will do what it within his power to see Hillary go to prison. And he will beat Hillary hands down with this tragedy. He just needs to keep saying, Hillary belongs in prison. Hillary belongs in prison, over and over again. And she might just get there. And you know what the truth is he just might be able to beat Bernie Sanders with that strategy. I mean, imagine it being Bernie as the nominee, right? Which the news is completely just eliminating Bernie Sanders from the news cycle. From the 24-hour news cycle, the news is completely eliminating Bernie Sanders. They're talking about, the Democrats are now trying to figure out a strategy where Bernie Sanders can exit gracefully. Fuck you. He's not interested in that. You bullshit media. And this douchebag at the beginning of this video saying, what about our First Amendment rights? You can't challenge the media. Of course you can. That's his First Amendment rights. The media is supposed to be a watchdog on the government. They're not doing their job at all. The media is a very important part of making sure the government doesn't be out of control and go to wars of choice based on lies for profit. They're not doing their job. They're just as full of shit as the government. And for Donald Trump to say the media are liars is completely obvious and exactly where 90% of the American public are. Maybe not quite. But a big percentage of the media, of the American public, hate the media. They don't even watch it anymore. It's garbage. It's one thing. Godzilla coming! Godzilla coming! Oh no, the economy's gonna crash. Buy gold. That's the American mainstream media. We have to go attack because we have to fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. That's the American mainstream media. And we hate you. In fact, we despise you so much that you're war criminals. We know that. The American mainstream media is war propaganda over and over and over again. War propaganda is considered an international war crime. You war propagandists, mainstream media prostitutes are all considered international war criminals. That's who you are. Brooke and the rest of you, Wolf, Rachel, Larry. Okay? And you belong in prison, because then the world will be a safer place for children. War criminals and war profiteers belong in prison. And the vast majority of you are both. War propagandists for sure, and the vast majority war profiteers. You belong in prison in order to make the world a safer place for children. It's easy to understand. If we could just save one child's life, it'll be worth it. Right, Obama? Right, Hillary? Okay, so if you want to see Hillary Clinton's big national security speech from yesterday, it's posted over at the Alternate MOX News YouTube page in case you're not already subscribed to it, which you should be, because I've only told you to do it like 100 times. There's a clickable link in the text body of the video. It will take you right to the Alternate MOX News YouTube page where you can see Hillary Clinton's big national security speech from yesterday, which was all about Donald Trump, as if Donald Trump is the biggest national security threat we have, unlike Hillary, who can't state any of her, okay, if you want to see it, it's over there. There's also, I posted, Obama's speech, commencement speech to the Air Force Academy yesterday, where he said, when there's problems around the world, they don't call Moscow. They don't call Beijing. They call Team America. Fuck yeah! Fucking piece of garbage. In prison to make the world a safer place for children. That's where you belong, Obama. I'm not really getting any donations, so in case you guys are wondering if I'm making a bunch of money or whatever, I'm not really getting any donations, and it'd be really good if somebody could put something in my bowl from time to time. It'd be greatly appreciated. Because without you, MOX News will not survive. Okay? So, thanks very much for your continued support. One of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till that day.
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.
The Middle East is on fire, and that's because of Hillary Clinton.